Satnam Aloha. So I missed last week. Had a really, really bad cold. I don't like to call it like a cold that I was sick, but it was a huge clearing, and I can't remember the last time that I got knocked out like that. But feeling better and feeling like I was purging at the cellular level. It's quite something. Preparing for 2026, which I'll talk about. But let's go into the new moon. So it's as of today the new moon, and December 19th, 2025. It depends where you are in the world, and we're in this energy for at least 3 days. So we're still in this new moon energy. So it's still very applicable. So you can see the moon is in the 10th gate, sun, moon, and then Mars is down there too. So the 10th gate comes off the G center. This is the sense of self and direction. So you may have this natally. So you'll have to check out what planet or node, if you have it in the nodes. I have it in my nodes. Okay, so this is the behavior of the self, the 10th gate, and it's a lock. Okay, so we'll go into the locks. I talk about the locks and the keys. So I don't want to go too much in to this yet. Okay, but let's just do the general, and then we'll go to specific. So gate 10 requires radical self-honesty. And why? Because this is the moment that we all say, and especially you, the divine feminine who I serve, is can no longer betray myself. I can no longer betray myself. This is the love of self, not narcissism, but the love of the self, the love of your authenticity. So this new moon is basically saying to rewrite your behavior, or stay stuck in karmic loops. So gate 10 is one of the love gates. If you know the love gates, and this isn't about the love like affirmations. I love myself. I love myself. Like you do all day long. This is about identity. This is an identity. So if your choices, what it says is if your choices, how the 10th gate communicates is if your choices don't match your supposed love of self. Oh yeah, I really, really love myself. But if your choices don't match, your aura is going to call BS. Like, nah, you're bullshitting yourself. Your aura will say this, and then your aura will collapse. And then your ability to act will be shut down. Right? So that's why divine feminine, you may be saying to yourself, right now, I'm powerful, I'm intuitive, I'm awakened, but why can't I act? Why can't I take action? This is why, right? This is about your choices. 2027 says no more playing. No more playing, saying one thing and then doing another, constantly contradicting yourself. The cross of planning that's been in effect since 1615 and ending in 2027, yeah, you could play all the time. The cross of planning encourage not self. This is you wearing a mask, playing a role, pretending that you're someone that you're not. Cross of planning was like, yeah, 2 thumbs up for you. Keep going, doing that. Well, the sleeping phoenix is the rude awakening. It's like you can't play not self anymore. The sleeping phoenix will not support that in the least, right? So gate 10, but luckily we have a little bit of time and space, so we can kind of ease more into this energy, this new energy that's coming in 2027. So the gate 10 says, well, why can't I act, right? Well, why can't I act? What's going on? Well, your inner masculine is offline. That's what this is saying, right? Your inner masculine is offline. So your behavior can't run on your feminine energy alone. So remember, right? We have both the feminine energy and we have the masculine energy, right? Think of the temperance card, right? It's the balance of the both. It's because we're called to be self sovereign. We're not learning through polarity anymore for the cross of the sleeping phoenix. We don't need to learn that way anymore. That's the 37, right? The 37 rules gender. This is going offline, it's mutating. So basically, your inner masculine's offline. I'm going to help you with that today with a few things. So stick around, a few things you can do. So this your behavior can't run on feminine energy alone, and your feminine can feel the truth. Your feminine can know the truth, feel the truth, but only your masculine, your inner masculine, can protect that truth, can act on that truth, and can enforce that truth, like assertiveness. So no inner masculine. If you're outsourcing your inner masculine, you be my polarity, husband, partner, whoever, boss, some person in your life, some male in your life. I'm going to outsource my inner masculine to him. Right? This is not. What will happen is you'll have no boundaries. You'll have no boundaries and you'll have no action. You'll have no action. You'll give all your power over, outsource it. And that's a no, no now. No, 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 no. No more outsourcing your power. And then you've got Mars for this new moon. So I'm just talking about the themes here. So Mars is in the 10.6. See that? 10.6. So what is this saying? It's saying I act from the truth of who I am. I act from the truth of who I am, or I don't act at all. So this is a 6 line. So right away, as soon as you see 6 lines, you see role model. Whatever the numbers are in your chart, if you see a 6 line, your role model. So the role model of behavior, 10.6. So this is corrective masculine energy. Mars is masculine energy. Right? So it's what's life saying to you, right? It's saying enough with the trial and error. Enough of that. Enough outsourcing your inner masculine to weak karmic men. Right? Stop doing that. Stop doing that. And show the world what a divine masculine energy, what divine masculine behavior looks like inside a woman. Inside a woman. Right? So Mars 10.6 is integrity. There's some words here. Integrity, embodied authority, right? It's saying it communicates my yes is clean. I have a clean yes. My yes isn't maybe, because you can say yes with your words, but your energy is like, maybe I will. Like it's kind of half-hearted. And then my no is sacred. My no is not wishy-washy either. When I say no, I mean it. Right? So this is the divine masculine energy within a woman. So my actions follow my truth. My actions follow my truth, not my fear. I don't act from fear anymore. So you can feel this, right? If I don't start backing myself up, say this to yourself. If I don't start backing myself up, no one else can. There's no savior coming. There's no white knight coming for you. That's all the cross of planning conditioning. There's no prince that's going to kiss you and whisk you off and you'll live happily ever after. Right? That's the little girl's fantasy. There's no savior. You're your own savior. Right? So you're here to back yourself up. You're here to back yourself up. Just stay with me. I can feel I can hear the egos now. But, right? It's just like, stick with me, follow along, right? I'll follow along and you'll feel clarity. Remember, you'll feel clarity in your body. Because I'm not speaking to your mind. I'm speaking to your body and your soul right now. So just take some deep breaths and just relax. Okay? So this is, I want to speak, divine feminines. You want to speak. You want to really speak from your authentic voice now, right? You want that. You want to set a boundary. I know you want these things for yourself. I want to be authentic. I want to speak my truth. I want to be able to set boundaries and patrol them. I want to leave this situation. I want to go to that situation over there, right? I want to confront him with my truth, but I freeze, right? But I freeze. I go into stress response, right? Fight, flight, or freeze, or fawn, right? And this is Mars is not asking you to think. Mars does not think. Mars is instinct. And this is the kind of energy that we have to start getting used to for the cross of planning, or cross of sleeping phoenix, leaving the cross of planning. So Mars isn't forcing you to think differently. Mars is forcing you to move differently. Move differently through the world. Not think differently, move differently. So the new moon is saying safety isn't something that you wait for. You're not waiting for something to happen. Well, get that job, or I'll get into that relationship, or I'll be in that new living situation and then I'll feel safe, right? No. It's something that your actions will generate. The actions, the little baby steps you take now, the new moon says, you'll generate safety. This is when your nervous system starts to relax, right? When you start taking little baby steps. And then the sun and the moon, right? Back up here, the sun and the moon, the sun in the 10.1, the moon in the 10.1. This is the foundation. It's line 1. And line 1 says self-love as survival. As survival. So line 1 is the foundation. It's the foundation of your behavior. And if I don't honor, if I don't honor, repeat after me, if I don't honor my authentic self, I cannot survive. If I don't honor my authentic self, I cannot survive. So this isn't spa day self-love, right? I'm going to go and get a pedicure and get my hair done and my nails and, have a nice spa. That's not self-love, right? For sure. This is not the self-love I'm talking about. This is identity. Your identity is self-love. It's not things that you do, it's who you are, right? It's who you are. So with, if you've been brought up with a karmic father, which is probably in most cases, yes, you've been brought up with a karmic father, a missing father that wasn't present in his own little world, right? In his own trip, not present. Physically, he might be there, but not emotionally or spiritually or mentally there. Or you're with a karmic partner, or a masculine controlled environments. You can feel this, right? When I'm asking you, you can feel this self-love is I don't trust myself, right? I don't trust myself. I don't trust men. I don't trust the masculine. I don't trust life. I certainly don't trust the divine. And I don't trust my own voice. So gate 10.1, right, says your behavior was shaped by fear-based masculine imprints, right? So this is your behavior has been shaped by this, fear-based. This is reading the room, right? Hypervigilant of everyone but yourself. That's just a few examples. You may relate to that. So now you want to rebuild your truth, You want to rebuild yourself based on your truth and not your conditioning. Based on your truth and your authenticity, not your conditioning. And then we can't forget about the Earth. The Earth is the programming partner of the 10, and that's here, the 15, also off the G center. 15.1, and this is your rhythm. Yeah, right? It's your humility. So this says that you must return to your own rhythm, to your own rhythm, to your own flow, and stop contorting yourself into a pretzel, trying to fit into someone else's rhythm. Right? The 15. This is the city of magnetism, or the gift of magnetism. It's very magnetic when you slow down in your own rhythm. So this is where you're realizing, right, with the 15 and the 10, where you're realizing you're doing way too much, right? Your relationships are unequal. You're bending to accommodate these karmic partners, especially the masculine, because the theme here is to build your own inner masculine. And your nervous system is in someone else's tempo. They come into your aura, they affect your nervous system, they're in your aura, right? And then you adapt, basically. And this is what you've learned. This is your conditioning. So gate 15 says your boundaries, right? Gate 15 says your boundaries create the rhythm that your soul can breathe in, right? Your boundaries. I need space, right? I can't run off with you in your emergencies, and that you need my constant attention when you're around, right? This is when you create boundaries. You start to trust yourself. This is the inner masculine, your inner masculine, so that your soul can breathe and you can recharge. So it's the new moon is just saying to also know your own rhythm, you know? Like knowing when you need to recharge, when you need solitude, and everybody right now needs some kind of solitude and space so they can feel themselves, right? So you can feel yourself. Okay, so if we go to, so it's all about behavior. It's all about behavior. Okay. And there's the mandala there, which we'll go to in a. And remember that the new year, just because we're on this slide, starts when the sun moves in the 41st gate down here, right? So it goes, the sun takes about 365 days, and then it comes back around and it's in the 41. And that's January 22nd, 26, right? And I just want to remind people here, the next retreat is January 23rd, right after the sun activates the 41st gate. From January 23rd to the 25th. These are the core dates. And it's the closing of the wheel, right? The closing of the wheel means that this is the last year of the cross of planning. It's the last year. It's the last turn before the reset, right? The reset. And January 26th, if you know your astrology, this is when Neptune moves into Aries. And it's just before Neptune and Saturn move into are conjunct 0 degrees Aries. And that's in February. So this will be setting you up, the closing of the wheel. So that's the theme. In this 10th, with the new moon in the 10, it's like, 0 degrees Aries. That's masculine, right? It's a masculine energy. It's the cosmic birth canal. So the gate 10, this is the first phase of building an identity that will be forced to be live in February 2026, right? So anyway, we'll go back to this, but basically there's a pattern here, right? Remember, I'm a projector. That's my gift, is to see patterns. Okay, so let's look at the locks. So the closing of the wheel is we're closing up an epoch, right? The cycles of global consciousness. I have put that slide up before. I don't have it, but watch my previous videos. You'll see it. Right? So there's a lock. So we're moving from the cross of planning that started in 1615. It's going till 2027, the cross of planning. So this means the whole program starts to change. The matrix starts to change radically. So what supported you in the past, what supported your mother and your grandmother and your great-grandmother, it's not going to support you any longer. Right? So you need to know this so that you can switch gears so you're not hitting your head against the wall like most people on the planet will be. Okay. So if we look at this, there's the 10th gate right here. So this is different. The new moon is activating this, and that's why I'm talking about it. So this is the lock. This energy does not change when we go through these 400-year cycles. They stay the same, right? And then they go through there's a grand change. But, that's way, 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 way into the future, past, our lifetime and our next life. So the 10th gate energy here, the gate of behavior, is a lock. So this lock doesn't change, but the keys do, right? So the key in the cross of planning has been the 9th gate, and then it's moving into the 34th gate, right? So let's talk about this. So this is focus. The 9th gate is focus. And so what we were conditioned to focus on as a humanity. Security over truth. Security over truth. So remember the cross of planning? It was about keeping this system going, and it was based on tribal bargains, right? And like I said before, it was based on not self. You were not encouraged to be your authentic self during the cross of planning. You're encouraged to be not self. So focused on, getting a stable income. Focused on staying in stable roles, right? Till death do us part if you're in a marriage, where you stay focused on the role as wife. Stay focused on the role as mother, sister, daughter, worker, whatever worker you're doing. And then stable relationships, predictable futures. And this is like if you focus on these things long enough, you'll be safe. Even if your body hated it, even if your body rebelled against it, right? Even if your soul shrank, right? You kept focused on this. You kept focused on this. Productivity over presence. Gate 9 was harnessed for output, efficiency, usefulness, performance, and worth, your self-worth, right? Your self-worth equaled how productive you were. Call it the cult of productivity that we've lived in the cross of planning. Look at me, I work 50, 60 hours a day or a week, right? 50, 60 hours. That's how much I work. I work even more than the 24 hours, right? People are applauding. Cross the planning people are applauding. You have 3 jobs. Wow, you're so worthy. Not like you're a workaholic. Stillness. If you went into stillness here with the 9th gate, and stillness and rest and feeling, right? What were those labeled as? Well, you're being lazy. You're being indulgent. You're being irresponsible. Cross the planning talk. External authority over inner authority, right? So we were meant to focus on the rules. That's the 62. That's another key there, right? The experts. I talked about this, the experts. So we were taught to focus on the rules, credentials, hierarchies, experts, institutions. We weren't taught to focus on our body intelligence, our intuition, our emotional truth, our own timing. The body became something to override, right? To conquer, not to trust. Long-term plans over present truth. Focus was always future-oriented, the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, the pensions, the retirement plans, the marriage, right? The marriage, the career ladders, having children, all of that's following the script. Right? So gate 9 was used to stay the course. You need to stay the course, even if the course was wrong for you as an individual, right? Quitting meant failure. How many times do you hear that? Like, oh, I failed at my marriage. I failed at my marriage. Things like that. Like there's this insinuation that you're supposed to be with that same person forevermore, even if you're not growing, right, at the soul level. Changing direction, that meant instability. That was not encouraged in the cross of planning. Cross of planning was to keep everything stable and keep that machine moving forward. And you were a cog in that wheel. If you stepped out of that wheel, you wanted to be your own cog, do your own thing. That was not encouraged in the cross of planning. Tribal obligations over individual alignment. The focus was on be dependable. Don't let people down. Honor the contract, right? That's the tribal contract. Honor the contract. Do your part. Pull your weight. Even if the contract was soul deadening. And so this is where you've learned to endure instead of choose, right? Stay instead of move. Stay put instead of move. Explain instead of act, right? So these were problems instead of signals. So gate 9, this says you were focused to fix symptoms, right? Instead of going to the root, right? You're having symptoms, the body pain, the migraines, all that. You've been trained to focus on the symptoms, not going to what is my body communicating to me where I'm out of alignment. This migraine is telling me that I'm out of alignment with my soul. What? Well, the 9's like, no, you can't go there because we got to keep this system going, moving forward. So trained to fix the symptoms, the emotional discomfort. You're emotionally discomfort, take a Valium, take a pill, right? Stuff down the messenger, right? I don't want to hear the messenger. Instead of asking, where's my energy gone? Why am I exhausted? This isn't normal, right? I'm 30-something years old and I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm 90, right? The kept you focused on the surface. The 9, why does my body resist this? Why does my body resist this? So discomfort was treated as something to just push through, right, with the 9th gate, not a message. So this was focusing without power, discipline without truth, and consistency without alignment. Stay the course. What does that lead to? Burnout, depression, anxiety, chronic fatigue, ADD, right? Like symptoms, spiritual numbness, not because you're sick, but because the operating system has expired. So if you're feeling that, it's because this 9 is no longer working. And if you're on my fractal, you're ahead of the curve. So in the sleeping phoenix era, so that's what we have to let go of, right? This focus. And this was guiding our behavior, right? This focusing on having the correct behavior to fit into this cross of planning ecosystem. And now we've got the 34, right? So this key's no longer going to work, the 9. And so the gate 34 is power. It's all about power. And then what does the 34 ask? Is there energy for this? Is there energy? Can you relate to this? I've been living like this for I don't know how many years already. Right? Is there energy for this? And mine is so extreme. Maybe you can relate to this. It's so extreme. If my mind is like I have a plan, stop making plans. I have a plan, right? Even the retreat, right? Okay, I have a plan. I have dates now. These are the dates. That's the plan. But if the energy's there, not there, it doesn't move, right? So 34 will show you that. Where is the energy right now? And sometimes it's just gone. It's like the gas tank is empty, completely empty. Does that mean it's wrong? It means it's wrong for right now. Doesn't mean it's wrong forever. It means it's wrong for right now, right? Because the 34 is about bringing you into the present now moment. This is the new key. You have to get used to this. So your behavior is based on that. Is there energy for this right now? So if the body says no, then your behavior collapses. Your motivation will disappear. Your focus will evaporate. Your willpower will fail. You won't be able to third chakra it. Not as punishment. It's not about punishing you. It's about giving you feedback. Very strong, powerful feedback if this is correct for you or not. So this is the sacral life force energy, right? It's the now, and it's embodied yes or no. So movement, right, without justification. Cross the planning, it's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Shame and guilt it if it didn't fit with the role that you were playing. 34 is like, it's instinctual. That's why Neptune and Saturn and going into Aries is so important, because it's warming us up for this. So it's not about discipline. It's not about consistency. It's not about planning. It's not about pushing. It's not about proving yourself. That's cross the planning. And the 34 does not negotiate with your mind. It's pure power, the 34. So the new behavioral formula, right? The old way, the 9 and the 10, was about think, focus, and then move, right? So the new formula is feel the power, move. Did you hear think in there? No, it's feel, power, move. No power, no behavior, no action. So this is why you may be saying, I guess I can't make myself do it anymore. I cannot make myself go to that job anymore, because this is starting to come online for you. It certainly is for me. It has been for many years now. Right? Does it mean you're lazy? No, not at all, because you can't make yourself, because there's no energy for that, right? So you're running the new operating system. And let me know in the comments. Maybe you're already in this new operating system. So under gate 34, you cannot fake alignment. You can't be a big faker with the gate 34. You'll be like the rag doll that's got no energy, right? Pretending that, oh yeah, I'm really into this. No, your energy will be so off, right? You'll be filled with energy when it's aligned for you. And remember, you're giving from overflow. You're working from overflow. That's the new energy in the sleeping phoenix. So you can't maintain roles that drain you. You can't be in those. You can't be in that relationship that drains you if you're on my fractal. You can't override your system long term. So what does this mean? It means people leaving jobs suddenly where there's no energy. Relationships collapse without any of the drama. They just collapse. Your habits will fall away overnight. Your identities will just dissolve. that people-pleasing identity will just dissolve because there's no energy to back up that incorrect behavior, right? Because you're not serving the cross of planning consciousness anymore. Um, and not because you're impulsive, because just the power, right? It's a fact. The power will just go. So gate 34 versus shame. This was the old trick to keep people motivated. Motivated by what? This emotion, the solar plexus. This was the glue that kept these contracts alive, right? And that's through shame, shame and guilt, the two favorite ones of the tribe, right? So shame and guilt were used to control behavior. Gate 34 doesn't care about shame. We can't get in. That person can maybe, how dare you think of yourself? And you're so selfish. And why are you behaving like this? What about your mother? You're hurting your mother. Right? Gate 34 is like, I don't care. I don't care about that stuff. You can't get in. You can't get in here. You can't guilt yourself into energy, right? You can't get rid of shame if the energy's not there, right? You can't pressure your sacral into power, and you can't threaten your body into alignment. So these tools, the old shoulds, right? You should do this. It's not going to work. Be responsible. You're irresponsible. That's not going to work. Don't be selfish. Just push through. Suck it up and push through. No, these literally won't work anymore with the 34th key, right? So what behavior looks like now is the old way is, oh, well, I committed. I made a vow, so I have to follow through. No. The new way is there's no energy for this. So the behavior changes. The behavior will change. I'll rest later. I'll rest later. I just have to move through this. I'll rest later after I finish this, right? Well, rest, the new way is the rest is what restores your behavior, right? The rest is what restores your power. Sorry. The rest is what restores your power. That's how you get your power back. Is you rest. You start to listen. Is there energy for this or not? No, there's none. So I need to rest. And that brings your power back online. The old way is all explained so they can understand. And then the new way is I act once and explanation is optional, right? The old way, I'll stay until all of this makes sense. I'll just stay. The new way is I move when the body moves, and then clarity follows. You don't wait for clarity, you move. And then clarity will come later, right? So this terrifies not self, right? You're not self, terrifies the not self. Because 34 removes control. You can't control anymore. You can't have any predictability. You can't have any bargaining. There's no identity safety. You can't promise the future, right? Like the marriage thing, until death do us part. How can you make that promise, right? With this operating system, you can't. Because you have no control if the energy is there or not. Because it's all up to soul. It's not up to ego. It's not up to the cross of planning tribal bargains anymore. You can't plan your way into power. You can't behave well for approval with this because you don't know what your behavior is going to be because it's based on this 34th key. You can only be truly here now in the present moment. That's all you can promise, right? I promise to be present in here and now moment. That's the only promise I can make to you. Right? I promise to be authentic and true in the present now moment. That's all you can promise. So this will collapse karmic loops, right? Karmic loops will be collapsing when you embrace this energy. very, very quickly. You either have the energy or you don't. It's simple as that, right? Okay. So let's do um, the masculine here. Okay. So a lot of divine feminines are saying, yes, I'm in my divine feminine. I'm in the flow. I'm intuitive. I'm receiving messages. My spiritual gifts are coming online. And still I can't act. Well, this is why. You want to rebuild your inner masculine, right? Um, so the feminine knows and the masculine does. So these are the two energies that you work with, and you want them in balance. You want them in balance. So this is the emperor. Does it mean that you look like the emperor? No, it means that you embody this energy within you. This is an archetype, a powerful archetype from tarot, the emperor. This is the divine masculine. So most divine feminines they know the truth, they feel the truth, they hear the intuition, they see the signs, they see the synchronicities, but they can't yet act because the masculine inside them is still modeled, not the emperor, but they're modeled after the karmic father, their karmic partner, their religious upbringing, patriarchal punishment scripts, abandonment trauma, not self-conditioning. So your inner masculine, because you do have an inner masculine, but it's weak. It's weak. And how do you know it's weak? Because if you look outside of yourself, you're going to see a karmic masculine in front of you, right? Who's non-committal, not present, can't make decisions, has no purpose, all talk, no action, right? On and on. You know, I did a whole video on the weak masculine. So your inner masculine says, because we're talking about you, is the truth will get you hurt. If you speak the truth, you'll be hurt. This is not the emperor talking. This is your weak little inner masculine who's probably more like a little boy, right? Than your masculine energy. Don't make him angry. Don't upset him, especially if you have an open solar plexus, right? Keep the peace. Stay silent. Don't tell him. Don't rock the boat. Don't speak unless they approve. Just say what he wants to hear. Don't act unless you're guaranteed safety. That's a big one. I can't take action because I can't take care of myself. Where would I live? What would I do? Right? I need to have guaranteed safety. That's your weak masculine talking. So this is the not self, right? The not self, inner masculine, has been shaped and conditioned, right? Your behavior, the 10th gate, has been shaped and conditioned by your early conditioning, right? So this is, your inner masculine keeping you safe in the old way. This is the old way that you coped when you were a child, that you've taken with you into adulthood. But it's killing you. It's killing your soul internally now, right? So this is why you freeze, right? This is why you fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, right? It's not that you're weak. Don't judge yourself that you're doing this. It just means that you're unprotected. You're unprotected, right? If you don't feel protected, you're not going to be open-hearted. You're not going to take the risks, right, when you feel unprotected, because you got a weak inner masculine inside you. Right? So you can't move until you have a strong intermasculine. Intermasculine says that I've got you. Speak your truth, I've got you. Speak, act, I'll hold the line. Right? And that's when this starts to come online, your inner masculine. So the divine masculine within you must be rebuilt And the new moon is the reset of your behavior. This is giving you a chance to shift your behavior now. So you shift from staying silent. If I've got nothing nice to say, I don't speak at all, to expression. You shift from fear to truth. You shift from people pleasing to setting boundaries. You shift from karmic patterns to sovereign behavior. You're self-sovereign. And you shift from survival to embodiment. So gate 10 says your actions now, right? Your actions now have to match who you're becoming. Not who you were trained to be, how everybody else wants you to be, but who you're becoming now as the phoenix, right? The phoenix fractal. So, where in your life, just ask yourself, right? And behavior that protects your soul is sacred. Yeah, right here. Very important. So, where in your life do you wait for permission before acting, right? So, where are you outsourcing? Some questions to reflect upon here. Where are you outsourcing your authority, right? Waiting to be approved, validated, told that everything's going to be okay. And the inner masculine will start to rebuild as soon as you realize that no one is coming to green light you. Nobody's coming to give you the green light. Nobody's going to come here and validate you. You have to do this to yourself, right? So look at what you want. Here's an easy way. What do I want from that karmic masculine, that karmic weak masculine, right? What do I want from them? Maybe I think they're my twin flame. What do I want from them? My twin flame or my karmic? Same like intensity, but different consciousness, which I'll talk about in the twin flame reading. But right, what do I want from them? And then you write it down and you give that to yourself. Oh, I just want validation. I want them to see me. They can't see me. Right? They can't really see me. They don't recognize me. Well, you got to give that to yourself, right? What would it feel like to trust yourself to decide, to make a choice, even if it's imperfect, right? The old way, the old masculine, your inner weak masculine says, well, I only take action if I'm certain. If I'm certain, I have to have 100% certainty. I need guarantees. The new masculine says, I will correct the course as I move, right? And I always say, sweep as you go. Start making the baby steps. Take action. Bring in the 34 energy, the 34th gate, right? I take action, I take a baby step, and I sweep as I go. I course correct as I go. I deal with things as they come, right? I don't need it all mapped out. That's the planning. The cross of planning is not going to work anymore. So gate 10 says doesn't demand perfection. Gate 10 is like doesn't say I want you to be perfect. It demands that you trust yourself as you move. Right? Your inner masculine, when it's healthy, says, I can handle everything life brings to me. I believe in myself. That's the inner masculine, the healthy masculine. Confidence. Remember I talked about confidence. What is confidence? Is confide. Who are you confiding in? Your own soul, your own inner knowing. That's what gives you confidence, not outsourcing, right? Your authority to these weak karmic men and situations. You're bringing the energy back to self, your true self, right? So this is like trust in motion, and then this rewires your paralysis when you feel that freeze. That's going to rewire your paralysis. And then it teaches your nervous system that decision making, when I make a decision, equals safety. not danger. That's the old way. When you go into the freeze, it means I can't make any decisions because it's dangerous. Your nervous system starts to relax when you start to step up and be the inner masculine for yourself. Your nervous system will start to relax. I can handle this. I can handle this. Right? And how do you know? Here's another question. How do you know in your body, because that's your oracle, how do you know in your body when something's a no? What does my body feel like when it's a no? Right? Lock that in. And this is where you've been gaslit. The hardest is with your body. With your body is clearly saying no, and you get talked out of it because the karmic, the situation pulls you into your head, or you do that. That's the weak masculine into your head, and then you're arguing with your body. And what are you doing there? You're completely abandoning yourself, right? And your power. So this is the commitment to listen to your body, and then your inner masculine acts on that. Your inner masculine expresses, no, my body is saying no, right? Period. Period. You don't need to explain. So you want to not ignore the tightening in your body. You don't want to override the nausea and the headaches and explain away the contraction in a physical symptom-based way. That 9. You don't want to do that anymore. You don't want to be nice. Stop being nice. That's an insult when somebody calls you nice. They're insulting you. Just know that. Don't overreact, right? That's the other thing that you've been taught. Don't overreact. Be nice. Be polite. So you have to rebuild your masculine by listening to the body. Listen to your body first before your mind gets in there and try to explain it away. Your inner masculine will start to build and get stronger and stronger and stronger. So a clean no feels like contraction in the body. It feels like you're heavy in the body. You have sudden fatigue, a loss of breath, right? Irritation. You feel this irritation. And the question, right? The question, what is my body communicating to me? That brings you back into your somatic authority, right? Your body as the oracle. And then what kind of structure actually supports you? What kind of structure actually supports you and what suffocates you, right? So not all structure is masculine medicine. Some structure is it's just control, right? It's all about control. So supportive structure gives you clarity, it creates a rhythm, protects your energy, allows you to rest, stabilizes your emotions. Suffocating structure demands that you play a role and be not self. Ignores cycles, punishes your intuition, disrespects your intuition and your knowingness, prioritizes obedience, that you be obedient over your own personal truth. And the new masculine is functional. It's not authoritarian, right? That's the difference. Is the new masculine is about function. It's about protecting your soul, right? Your soul. Protecting and serving your soul. And like I said before, yang must respond to yin, right? Yang must respond to yin. Okay. So if you stop managing other people's emotions, regulating everybody else's emotions, what energy would you get back? Right? Well, when you're managing everybody else's emotions, your libido goes down, so your sex drive goes down, your creativity goes down, your intuition goes down, your voice gets weak, your will gets weak. And when you stop buffering discomfort for others, I can't say that'll make people upset, right? Well, what you get back is your presence, your vitality, your creativity, your intuition, your clarity, your direction, and your desire. And this is when your life force returns, right? So, in terms of things that you can do to activate your masculine here, it's choose yourself. Number one, choose yourself. And yes, cross the planning people and the clipboard people will come out and say, how dare you? How dare you be selfish and think of yourself? That's all about bringing you back into that old consciousness, hooking you back in. You don't listen, you choose yourself. This is the new energy, right? So this is for the moment. What you say to yourself, for this moment, I choose myself. Not against anyone, not to prove anything, right? Not to get back at anybody. I'm choosing myself in this present moment. Just choose yourself once. Just try. Like, usually I don't choose myself in this situation, but you know what? I'm going to choose myself this time just once and see what happens. And then let it feel. Then feel what it feels like in your body when you choose you. When you choose you. When you make that commitment to choose yourself. Right? So, of course, I can hear the people out there, the clipboard people right now. But what if you're a mother and it's blah, blah, blah? And, of course, have common sense. Yes, if you have to take care of a baby or somebody that's dependent on you that needs their diaper changed or whatever, yes, there's exceptions. But this is different. I'm saying to choose yourself. No, I don't feel like going to that event tonight. I know that you want me there because I make you look good, right? You look like the good guy and like we have this happy marriage, but we really don't. You know, I can't pretend anymore. It would be like, this would be like an example. I'm choosing myself here, right? So let it happen. Like feel it, right? Feel in your body when you stop negotiating, right? What happens to your body, and lock that in. Your voice is important. Your voice is important. So this is your voice matters, even if you don't use it today, right? So your voice doesn't mean you're explaining, trying to have that other person understand you. You're not over explaining. Your voice doesn't mean that you're convincing somebody. Your voice means that truth, your truth, has a right to exist and you have the right to express it. Right? And I've said this many times, I don't know if I've said it on YouTube, but you want to speak from your navel. Your navel. Speak from your navel. Women forget, and they haven't been taught, that they are 18 times stronger than men. Energetically 18 times stronger than men. You probably haven't been taught that unless you went to yoga teacher training, right? So your voice has a lot of power, right? When you're connected and aligned with your soul, with your authenticity, and that means you speak from your navel. And this is when no means no. Yes means yes when you speak from the navel. If you're up here in your throat and you're talking like a little girl, there's nothing drives me more crazy than seeing a grown-ass woman speaking like a little girl. That's such a turn off, right? And this is because she's speaking from her throat and her voice is so weak. She's completely disconnected from her power. So you want to start speaking from your navel. And then see what happens when you start speaking from your navel. Right? See what happens. You're going to be surprised at the power that comes from you. Right? And then the body starts to relax. This is your inner masculine coming online. Right? And then you want to call in the stag. Call in the stag here. Right? So the stag is, it's not like you have a real stag, but you know, an energetic stag is your spirit animal. Let the stag be your spirit animal. Imagine the stag is walking into that meeting with you, right? Beside you. So energetically imagine the stag standing beside you, not in the front of you, not behind you, but right beside you, right? So the stag is calm and still, alert and rooted and unreactive. Stags don't rush. They take their time and they don't feel threatened, right? It doesn't explain itself, doesn't over explain itself. It just holds the ground. And that's your inner masculine, right? That's your inner masculine with you. Present, present, right? And you'll automatically feel this protection around your aura. Know your worth, right? No proof required. You don't need to get out all your degrees and diplomas. It's like know your worth. Know your worth. So you don't need to earn your worth. You don't need to do a dog and pony show for it. You don't need to explain it, right? Worth is not negotiated in the sleeping phoenix era. It's embodied. You're embodying your worth here. Right? So let that feel that in your belly. I know my worth. I know my worth. I don't need to prove it to anybody. I know my worth, and that's all that matters. Protect yourself, right? Protect yourself the way you wished you were protected as a child. Protect yourself that way. That you wished I wished I was protected like this. I wish somebody protected me and let me speak my truth. I wish I let somebody protect my creativity and my movements, right? All of that. You want to start to give yourself the protection that you always wanted, that you wish you got when you were a child. So you protect yourself by leaving sooner. I leave when I want to leave. I leave this conversation when I want to go. I'm not being nice anymore. I'm listening to my body now. I'm saying yes. I'm not over explaining. I'm saying yes. I'm not giving excuses. I'm choosing differently. I'm in my own rhythm. I'm resting. I'm not engaging. So protection is behavior. That's a source of behavior, right? So you choose yourself. Say it after me. I choose myself. I trust my body. I let my inner masculine hold the line. And I'm safe to be true, right? Okay. Okay. And do I have anything more to say about that? Okay. Just a reminder, next retreat, January 23rd to 25th. Sun is in the 41st gate. That's the new year, Human Design New Year. January 26th, Neptune goes into Aries. This is the closing of the wheel. This is the last year before 2027, and we're closing up this wheel. This is the last turn before the reset. So I'll have more information up, but if you're on my newsletter, you'll be in the know. And then, of course, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll be making announcements too. I just wanted people to look at these dates here. Okay, so let's do fractal read. Okay, so let's look at the fractal read, tarot read, for this new moon here. And so position one, what was the question for position one? And this is the Queen of Swords. Where are you still abandoning yourself to belong? Where are you still abandoning yourself? Right? So the Queen of Swords, this is saying that you've learned this is not self. You've learned to read the room. Hypervigilance, right? You learn to read the room. Put yourself in a little pretzel, right? Adapt to the environment. Uh, be articulate, be in your intellect, be clever, use your mind, be articulate, be communicative, but not real from self, right? It's the swords, it's the mind. Stay composed, look like you have it all together. Don't be too much, don't be too emotional, right? Be that Queen of Swords. Sober, right? Sober, but cut off from her body and her emotions. But the shadow here is editing your truth to keep peace. Abandon yourself not by being silent per se, but by saying what's acceptable. Right? The acceptable version of truth instead of the real truth. And the real truth is messy. Is messy. So this is abandoning yourself right here through the mind. Right? I'll say it in a way that doesn't upset everybody. I'll tiptoe. I'll beat around the bush, right? I'll tiptoe around the truth. I don't want to upset anybody. So the medicine isn't harsher words. It's clean, unapologetic truth without over-explaining. Unfiltered. Focused on you when you're communicating, not the other person. And reading them and how are they reading what I'm saying. It's like, no, you focus on you. And maybe you need to close your eyes. Maybe you need to write an email. Maybe you need to even write a letter, right? To get used to communicating unfiltered. Especially if you've been trained as a child to read the room and read everybody else, right? That it was dangerous for you to speak the truth. So that's how you abandon yourself. Two of Wands. What truth in your body is asking to be honored and not explained? Two of Wands. So Two of Wands says that you feel the pull in another direction. Because look at her, right? She's got one wand, but she's looking that way. So you already know you're pulled in another direction, and your body knows it. So where you're standing is no longer it. Where you are right now is no longer it. The current world that you're in is too small. Remember I talked about the little flowers, right? You're in a little tiny pot. You've outgrown this pot a long time ago. You need to be in a bigger pot, and that's what the Two of Wands is looking at. Right? You want a bigger world. But you're pausing because you can see the risk. There's always risk. When you're following your soul, there's always 100% risk. Always risk. Can't escape that. You can't. All you can imagine is all the things that could go wrong. Right? You're waiting to feel ready. Remember, taking a risk, like feeling ready, it's not about a feeling. It's about a choice. That's what all it is a choice. You're never going to feel ready. You have to make a choice. The truth is you don't need certainty to turn your body towards that horizon that you can see, right? So orientation comes before movement. So this says to move, right? That you see where your body knows where it wants to go. And this is what we have to trust, right? That's what human design is teaching, and especially in the sleeping phoenix. We're taking the authority from the mind to the body, right? From the mind to the body knows. How is your inner masculine being asked to show up, right? Differently now. 5 of Cups. So the inner masculine is being asked to stop bypassing the grief. Stop bypassing the grief. Stop minimizing disappointment. Stop pretending it didn't matter. It didn't really matter to me. Right? Strength right now is letting the loss be real. Let yourself feel the loss. We're all going through loss. Right? Now, this year, filled with loss. So this is the masculine maturity, is I acknowledge what was lost and I don't let the loss define me. I acknowledge the loss that I've experienced in my life, but I'm not going to let it define who I am. No fixing, right? There's no silver lining yet. Don't let yourself go into silver lining. Just present. Just be present with it, especially with grief, because grief works in waves. Grief works in waves. And this restores trust within your body when you allow the grief, right? So don't let your inner masculine, your weak inner masculine that's been trained to talk yourself out of your feelings, you're doing that to yourself. You don't do that now. You be with it. Be present with the grief, and this will you'll establish a greater trust with your body, right? When you do that. What happens when you stop rescuing and choosing yourself instead? When you stop being overly focused on others and you choose yourself instead. And this is the Lover's card. So this is relief. It's a relief. When you stop rescuing, your internal split starts to heal, right? Your internal split starts to heal. The war between your heart and your body, you can read the Lovers as your masculine and feminine energy. So the war between your heart and your body ends. The choice between your choices become clean instead of dramatic. And it's not about choosing another person per se, right? This is about choosing alignment. I'm choosing alignment with my soul. So the Lover says, choose yourself restores union. Choosing yourself restores union, not separation. And what you fear will cause rupture, actually creates coherence. So what you're feeling that will cause rupture in your life is actually bringing union with yourself, So this is what you're choosing. Again, choosing you, right? Choosing you. And then what is the next small baby step, embodied step forward? And look at these two beautiful cards. I was kind of surprised to see, and not surprised to see these two come out at the same time. So the Empress and the Ace of Cups. So the next step for you is nourishing yourself and emotional truth, So this is not about fixing. The Empress does not fix, and she does not prove herself. This is saying tend to your body, right? Honor your feelings, allow softness, be gentle and soft with yourself. And this is when the inner masculine comes online, right? Your own inner masculine. You can really embrace this Empress energy, right? The Emperor and the Empress. These are the divine counterparts within you. So you become soft. You honor your feelings, and then you let something new begin. It's Ace, right? Something new begin emotionally. So this is choosing life force over endurance, and Empress says care for what you are becoming. You're becoming. The Ace of Cups says let the heart open without conditions. And this is the opposite of the old survival strategy, these two cards here. So you're not blocked because you don't know what to do. You're at that moment where truth wants to be spoken cleanly, direction wants to be chosen internally, and grief wants to be honored, and self choice wants to replace rescuing others, and nourishment wants to replace endurance. So that's a beautiful reading for the fractal, for the Phoenix fractal. And you can see, right, to go from that Queen of Swords to here, from the heart. And a lot of divine feminines have to learn this, right? To become soft again. Soft again. And that means their own inner masculine has to come online. They can't be outsourcing that to others. That's beautiful. Okay. And let's go for the twin flame. Twin flames here. And this is the tarot reading for the twin flames. So just a few things, because I know people may just jump on. Oh my God, a twin flame reading! I want to watch it. So for those people, and maybe people that have know me and follow me or follow my channel, this is a reading for both the twin flames and then the one and people that are in karmic relationships. And so you may not know, like, is this a karmic relationship or is it a twin flame relationship? So a good way to know, right, is a true twin flame dynamic. If it's a true twin flame, they're going to pull you inward to yourself, right? So it's a twin flame connection. That's all it takes, is just connecting with your twin flame, and something gets activated within you. So the true twin flame pulls you inward and strengthens your self-trust, right? So, of course, they will activate you. Your twin flame will activate you if you have no trust in yourself or your intuition. But they pull you inward, they strengthen your self-trust, they activate your sovereignty, your self-sovereignty, and they don't require chasing, right? And they don't require you to be chasing them, and they don't keep you small. They don't keep you small. That's a true twin flame. Now, there's a karmic can be masquerading as a twin flame because the energy is intense. The karmic energy is intense, but so is the twin flame energy intense, but they manifest completely differently. So you can see, oh, no, they're my twin flame, when in fact they're your karmic. They're your karmic. So a karmic masquerading as a twin flame, it keeps your energy oriented outward. So the twin flame has you connecting, forcing you to connect within. You connect deeper and deeper with your soul. The false twin, the karmic, has you oriented outward. It's all surface. It's out there. The karmic delays your life. So this means you go in circles. You're just in circles. You don't grow in a karmic relationship. You don't grow spiritually. Yeah, you may grow financially and materially, like accumulating things, but you're not growing spiritually on a soul level. The karmic feeds longing instead of embodiment. So you're longing for the other person. That's them. I need them. That's the karmic, instead of being the embodiment, right, of both energies. A twin flame is you're both, the masculine and feminine. You come into union. The karmic intensifies fantasy and weakens action, right? So it's all talk. Oh, it's going to get better when. Oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. It's all talk. It's all fantasy. There's not action. And they collapse your inner masculine. The karmic collapses your inner masculine as opposed to the twin flame, which is like about your empowering your self sovereignty, right? So the difference isn't the intensity, but what happens to your power. So the intensity can be the same with the twin and the karmic, but what happens to your power? That's the question. What happens to my power in this relationship? Um, so many confuse the karmic for the twin flame because the karmic connections mirror the deep wounds. They mirror your deep wounds. They activate childhood longing. They feel familiar. They feel very familiar at a soul level, and they create a sense of destiny. But here's the truth, right? Intensity without forward movement is karmic. You're not going anywhere with that person. You're just looping over and over and over again. That's how you know. Depth without embodiment is right. It's all talk. It's not embodiment. That's karmic. Love that costs you yourself is karmic. If you have to abandon yourself, that's a karmic relationship. Twin flame energy does not drain your life force, right? Karmic relationship drains your life force. Okay. So if we go, okay. So with the karmic, it's thank you. My lesson is complete. It's not about waiting. It's not about waiting. It's about thank you. I got that wound triggered and poked and it never healed and I never got anywhere with it. That's your sign to get to for your inner masculine to come online and say thank you. I got the lesson. I'm going now. Right? Because the divine feminine, you can get locked into karmic loops. And this is where your inner masculine energy collapses because hope is replaced with action, right? When your inner masculine comes online, you're no longer in hope. That's your karmic relationship. Your karmic masculine keeps you in hope, right? In the energy of hope. And now you're replacing it with action because your inner masculine is on board, longing for something different. I'm longing for this in the future that never comes. And now I have direction. My inner masculine's online. I stop the leak and I let my body lead, right? So a karmic connection teaches you how to abandon yourself. A karmic relationship teaches you how to abandon yourself. A twin flame connection reflects who you already are because you don't know. Your twin is reflecting your greatness and your potential. Your twin can see who you really are, even when you don't, even when you can't see your potential. That's the difference. Okay. So if choosing yourself, right, the twin flame karmic, of choosing yourself, which this new moon is saying, if choosing yourself ends the connection, ends your connection, then the connection was the lesson. It wasn't the destiny. If you're choosing yourself ends the connection, right? That person can't handle it. You choosing yourself and dropping the script. That was the lesson. That was your lesson to choose yourself all along. It's all that relationship was meant to show you to finally choose yourself in this lifetime. And that's not your destiny. Your destiny is the twin flame, right? Your destiny is not the karmic. Okay, so let's go into that reading just so you get a sense of how I approach twin flame connections in terms of human design and the tools that I use, right? And then this new cross of the sleeping phoenix. And twin flames cannot take not like a cent of cross the planning consciousness, tribal bargaining kind of a relationship, right? So you can imagine they have to be in the now, that 34. Their behavior has to come into the now, present now moment. No, I can't make this promise to you that I'll be here 10, 15 years. I can't, right? That's cross the planning. The cross of the sleeping phoenix is I can promise that I will be present and I will be in this present now moment and I will be attuned to the energy, that 34th gate. And if there's any energy for this connection, yes, right? It's looking at like that. So just blow, like that's the purpose of the twin. One of the purposes of the twin flame connection is to blow up all these old paradigms of what a relationship is. So you see a lot of twin flames, they have to let go of a lot. They've got to let go of all this conditioning at the ancestral level, right? Anyway, let's get into this reading. So, divine feminines, where are you still putting your energy towards another, your twin or karmic, right? The Fool card. And this is the hope, the hopium, right? The 41st gate is this, the Fool card. So the Fool says you're looking at possibility, right? You're looking at potential of that person. You're still connected to that, karmic or twin flame. So you're not chasing, you're not checking, you're not reaching, but you're still holding a space. You're holding a space. Oh, one day, maybe later, maybe if, right? One day. So you're in the future with this. You're not in the present now moment. So you're not claiming direction here, right? You're waiting. You're waiting. So it's the future is open instead of standing where you are now, right? So leaking your energy to the future. You're not being in the present now moment. So you're still leaking about a potential with this person. So now it's like you've got to land. Okay, I'm letting that go. I'm letting go of any fantasies I have about the future. I'm in the present now moment and I deal with what's in front of me now. Right? So you want to land. You want to land in the body. The Fool in this position says you're in your head and you're in fantasy land of the what if, what if, what if. And it's like be in the body. Be in your body now. Position 2, what part of you is ready to come home to yourself? 7 of Swords reversed. The sneaky card. It's like the devil card, but a lower intensity devil card. So this says that no more self-deception, right? No more spiritual bargaining, no more pretending that the twin flame dynamic is something that it isn't. Maybe you don't even recognize this connection, that it's a twin flame connection. You're thinking, oh, it was just some weird relationship or connection that I had, 2 ships passing in the night, whatever. You're lying to yourself, right? You're lying to yourself about your twin flame, or you're lying to yourself about your karmic relationship, or both, right? That it's more than it is. If it's in your karmic, it's more than it is. So this is say, I'm done, because it's about you. I'm done betraying myself. Because you know, divine feminines, if you reject, maybe you're in the situation like that where you've chosen safety over soul, and you reject, I'm rejecting that relationship, that twin flame connection. You're not really rejecting your twin, you're rejecting your own soul. That's what you're really rejecting. And so the 7 of Swords reverse is that I'm ready to face the truth now, right? So this is honesty with yourself, right? And it's not about the other person. This is about you dropping the mask that you've been wearing yourself, right? This is the 59, the 59th gate, being transparent with yourself, right? So get out your journal, start writing, get to the truth, right? A lot of people are afraid to write in their journal because they don't want to see the truth because they'll be they're faced with their own soul, right? When you start writing and going deeper and dropping deeper within you. Okay. So this is you reclaiming yourself. You're reclaiming this part of you that's honest now. How is the inner masculine being asked to protect your heart differently? The Chariot and the Three of Wands. So this is the stag medicine. So your inner masculine is being asked to take the reins, the Chariot, choose directions, stop oscillating, bust a move. Chariot says bust a move, make a decision. Right? And this is like, oh, I'll decide where my energy goes. I'm not going to be the jellyfish in the ocean anymore. My inner masculine is taking the reins. I'm making a choice. I'm making a decision. And the Three of Wands says, I don't chase, I orient myself to what is aligned. And alignment starts with you first, right? So together, this is like direction replaces longing. Protection now looks like forward movement in your life. It's a chosen trajectory. It's embodied momentum, and it's not guarding the heart. It's leading. It's leading from the heart. And that's what this is saying, leading from the heart. Okay. Right? But it's future. Three of Wands. Let's go. So, next question here. Six of Cups. What happens to the twin flame dynamic when you choose yourself fully? When you choose you, what happens? This is calm. This is calming, right? So the twin flame dynamic softens. It's not so dramatic and intense, right? Nostalgia remains without pain, and love becomes clean. It's a clean memory. It's not an ache. It's not an ache. And that comes with twin flame connections is ache and longing. And this is like it's clean. The memory's clean. It doesn't cause pain to your heart and to your energy field. So it's not a loss. This is the bond is integrated, but it's not lived through longing. So the Six of Cups says the soul recognition. This is a soul recognition card, the Six of Cups. The innocence remains, but it's no longer runs the present now moment, right? So this is emotional maturity. It's not about giving up. It's about emotional maturity. So both twins on the twin flame journey, they have to mature emotionally, no matter how old they are. Like chronologically, they have to mature emotionally. And what's the next embodied step that anchors union? Remember, on a twin flame union, twin flame connection, it's about you having union with yourself, union with the soul, your masculine and feminine energies in union. Five of Swords reversed in the Temperance card here. The Alchemy card, the Temperance. So this is the ending card, right? So it's Five of Swords reversed, means I'm done fighting with myself. I'm no longer fighting with myself, right? No more inner war, no more proving, no more winning, that I've got to earn love, I have to win love. Temperance says bring it back into the body, integrate balance. And the next step is inner reconciliation here. Union doesn't come from action outward. It comes from ending your own inner conflict. So look at where you're still in conflict, right? And this is where peace returns and the power with it, right? So the temperance is that balance, your masculine and feminine. So you're asked to move on, right? To move on, um, cut cords, cut cords if you can. Um, so you're not being asked like to move on aggressively. This isn't like a violent like go do it, bring down the hatchet kind of energy. Um, you're being asked to stop hovering, stop procrastinating, stop waiting, stop leaking to the future. Choose direction. It says to choose direction and integrate love instead of orbiting it, like outsourcing love. It's to bring it back inside you. And this is the completion of a lesson. That's what for this new moon is the completion of a lesson. So when you choose yourself, the love doesn't disappear when you choose yourself. It integrates. And union doesn't require waiting. It requires presence. So you want to be present with yourself here. You know? Okay. Very, very good. Okay. So there we go. 1 hour, 36 minutes. So closing of the wheel, online retreat coming up January 23rd to the 25th. This is the last turn before the reset in 2027. It's going to be a powerful year ahead, which we'll talk about uh, with this retreat. So I'll be putting up more information as it comes. And I believe it's 5 weeks from today. Okay, so please like my video if you found any value whatsoever. That's a great way of showing me that you value my content. And you can follow me on Instagram, Telegram, and of course, YouTube community page, the tab you'll see, and I post there daily. Even when I was going through that huge clearing all week, I managed to get a post up every day. And I like to put little memes up around about the transits to keep us on course here. Okay, so go back and reflect on some of the questions that I've given you and some action items, and this is the time to change your behavior. Okay, and please comment too, and if especially if you like the readings, like let me know about the readings and anything else you want to share too. Okay, I will see you in the next video, which will probably be before Christmas, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So, namaloha, everybody. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye.